We have everyone on. What? We're off the air.
Yeah,
we all thought we were at the top of their game at ABC. Who knows how networks work? I don't know, but it was dropped in big arenas that this is a thought police thing, and I do not like it. But when I use these words, this is my intent behind those words.
Yeah.
Ever feel like you can't say anything without someone getting offended? Tim Allen's right there with you. He's facing down the woke mob and winning. He's not just talking the talk, Allen's walking the walk. From Last Man Standing to his new show on Disney+, he's proving you don't have to sell out to succeed. How's he doing it? We've got the inside scoop. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Does Last Man Standing ring a bell? Tim Allen's show was a smashing success for a long time. All the signs pointed to success.
They do this.
You know why they do that? This truck is older than you, but it's a classic, and people realize it's a classic.
High ratings, devoted viewers. Finally, ABC suddenly pulls the plug. How come? According to ABC's attempts at denial, the choice was purely commercial in nature. We just aren't buying that, you know? It was a smashing success. There had to be another explanation. The trouble with Last Man Standing is that it didn't mind causing a stir.
Let's talk about Last Man Standing. Congrats on this.
No, thanks very much.
I watched it when it was on ABC.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it wasn't on ABC.
The character played by Alan, Mike Baxter, was an outspoken conservative. Does this ring a bell? Indeed, it's essentially just Tim Allen being himself. Certain individuals in the entertainment industry were not pleased by that. The show poked fun at liberal politics and PC in general. Anyone sick of the same old Hollywood fare would have appreciated the change of pace. However, for some, it was excessive. A show that deviated from their script would be too much for them to manage. Those on the inside of the industry felt conflicted. Some felt that ABC was attempting to censor a conservative commentator. Opponents of the network countered that it was all about money. Regarding fans, though, none of it was going down with them. The justifications were immediately disregarded. Then what was actually happening? Was ABC attempting to cancel a show because it didn't conform to their plans? On the other hand, was it truly all about the money? Now we're getting to the good part. Suddenly, Fox was in on Last Man Standing. They recognized possibilities that ABC either couldn't or chose not to acknowledge.
We have everyone on. What? We're off the air.
Yeah,
we all thought we were at the
that?
top of their game at ABC. Who knows how networks work? I don't know, but it was dropped.
To Hollywood standards, it was a huge slap in the face. Even though the show didn't conform, Fox still gave it a platform. Playing Santa seems like a safe option, doesn't it? At least not in Tim Allen's case. There was a deluge of criticism surrounding his return to Disney Plus as jolly old Saint Nick. Two words you would never think would cause problems were the catalyst. The new show The Santa Clauses, in which Allen appears, seemed to be completely harmless. For crying out loud, it's Santa Claus. Who could really be angry with Santa Claus? This is where things are gonna get wild, so fasten your seatbelts, everyone. A small joke is dropped by Alan Santa in the show. He concludes, "Merry Christmas to all." Oh wait, I forgot that saying Merry Christmas is suddenly problematic. Holy cow. Twitter went viral in an instant. Someone's grandma must have been offended by his comments.
I still get people, well, just don't say it. And I said, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, but they take it out of context and put it on Twitter or put it on Facebook.
This drove everyone crazy. Some podcaster named Scott Weinberg lost it. Suddenly, every single person had an opinion once he tweeted about it. Observing the snowball's transformation into an avalanche was akin to that. Let me tell you something though. Not everyone was furious. It was funny to some people. According to them, Allen is doing the right thing by standing up to the PC police. Everyone else? Their demand was for Allen's beheading. Someone even went so far as to call Tim's Santa a MAGA supporter. Concerning an offbeat holiday joke, do you think it's real? The question now is, what is Disney gonna do? Is the Twitter mob going to force them to give in? Do you think they're gonna blame Tim Allen? Not at all. Disney was unwavering. They rallied behind Allen, essentially asking the anger crowd to go away, as if they suddenly realized that not every joke calls for an apology tour. Do you recall a time when, in comedy, the goal was to break new ground? The one who performs it is Tim Allen. Richard Pryor and Lenny Bruce were legends throughout his generation. But right now, imagine blindfolded and navigating through a minefield.
It was amazing. I grew up on Richard Pryor. You can't even go back and talk about the book he wrote.
Yeah.
You know, and then what I got to do sometimes is explain which I hate.
When every word he says could result in his cancellation, how is a guy meant to be funny? In terms of politically correct humor, Allen isn't holding back. He's expressing our collective thoughts, and it's putting an end to the laughter. And I see his point. Let that sink in. Man, you can't say that anymore is a phrase that many people have thought when they heard a joke. Due to his extensive experience in the field, Tim has witnessed the transformation personally. He has a long list of jokes that he is no longer allowed to use. There's no way, according to him, I've had to tweak my own material, adjusting my jokes so that they won't get me canceled by today's ultra-sensitive standards. What would it be like? A comic feeling the need to control his language for fear of offending others.
It is an alarming thing for comedians. But my act has really been about family and kids and growing up anyway.
However, let me explain. Allen will not budge. The thought police in Hollywood are his enemy, and he is speaking out against them. He asserts, I do not like it, but when I use these words, this is my intent behind those words.
In big arenas, that this is a thought police thing, and I do not like it. But when I use these words, this is my intent behind those words.
Yeah.
He will not only continue to tell jokes, but he is also not hesitant to explain them. The guy's bravery is inspiring. An entire industry is waiting to swoop in and take advantage of his every slip up. Allen has stated, it's gotten to the point where literally there's part of me, a deep part of me that just, bring it on. If you want to cancel me, go ahead.
Point where literally there's part of me, a deep part of me that just, F it, bring it on. If you want to cancel me, go ahead.
That is an impressive amount of courage. However, how exactly does one become a comedian in our modern era? Allen has a plan. He's not backing down as he explains his objective. You can maintain your comedic integrity while he's performing. You could argue that's his way of saying, yeah, I might offend you, but at least you'll know why I said it. Everyone has become so sensitive, and Allen is making fun of it. He exclaims, I'm surprised they haven't, because I do use some provocative words, but I tell them it's words that really got from my parents. Even using the language our parents taught us can now make someone mad. In Hollywood, Tim Allen isn't merely holding his own, he's prospering. In a town where careers can end with one wrong tweet, how's this outspoken conservative still getting work? We'll explain why Tim Allen could be the bane of Hollywood's existence. The political leanings of Allen are not hidden. In a group where consensus is expected, he is the one who says what's on his mind, and it really irritates Hollywood. They've tried to shut him up, but guess what? It ain't working.
There's moments that it's more. It reminds me of my anarchist background.
Remember when Allen compared being a conservative in Hollywood to living in 1930s Germany? Yeah, that happened. People lost their mind.
Careful around here, you get beat up. If you don't believe what everybody believes, this is like 30s Germany. I don't know what happened.
They were calling for his head on a platter, but Allen, he didn't back down. He stuck to his guns. So how's he still around? How come he's not flipping burgers instead of starring in shows? It's simple. Allen's got something Hollywood can't touch, a loyal fan base. These folks don't care what the Twitter mob says. They love Allen because he says what they're thinking. And that's what makes Tim Allen uncancelable. He's not playing by Hollywood's rules. He's not apologizing for every little thing. When the industry tries to push him out, his fans push back even harder. But it's not just about having fans. Allen's got backbone. He's not afraid to lose it all. He once said he'd rather face backlash than compromise his integrity. That's not just talk, that's walking the walk. And here's the kicker. Allen's success is proving there's an audience for voices outside the Hollywood bubble. Every time he lands a new gig, it's like a big middle finger to the industry that wants him gone.
Saying a word, and it's one of those things where it's like, it's kind of unbelievable.
So yeah, Tim Allen's still here. He's still making people laugh. And he's still driving Hollywood crazy, because in a world of yes men and apology tours, Tim Allen's showing that you can stand your ground and come out on top. And for an industry that loves control, that's their worst nightmare come to life. Tim Allen's not going anywhere, and that's got Hollywood sweating. He's like a thorn in their side that just won't quit. Every time they try to push him out, he comes back stronger. It's pretty clear there's a big audience out there hungry for voices that don't fit the usual Hollywood mold. So what's next for Tim Allen? Who knows, but you can bet it won't be anything woke. He's gonna keep doing his thing, speaking his mind, and probably ticking off a bunch of people along the way. But that's just Tim being Tim. And here's the thing, Allen's success isn't just about him. It's showing that there's room for different opinions and entertainment. It's like he's opening doors for others who've been afraid to speak up. Hollywood might not like it, but they can't ignore it anymore.